bloodline bound the bond he held. No throne was promised there, just heaven's quiet miracle placed gently in his care. A child who shaped the stars above, now sleeping in his arms. The breath that spoke creation's light, safe from the world's alarms. Not by right, not by claim, but heaven called his name. A father chosen by God to guard the Holy One, to stand beside the Virgin and raise the Father's Son. No crown upon his head, no glory shouted loud, just faithful love in hidden ways. A father chosen by God. He taught him how to walk the roads of dust in Galilee, how to hold a hammer firm, how to bend a knee. He watched the child grow strong in grace and wisdom in his eyes, not fully knowing yet the cross that awaited in disguise. He trusted what he could not see and gave his heart completely. A father chosen by God to guide with steady hand, to shape a home in Nazareth according to his plan. When danger closed around them, when fear was drawing near, he rose without hesitation and led them far from fear. What strength it took to let him go when heaven called his name, to know the child he once had held would carry all our shame. No greater love in hidden form, no louder act of grace than standing in the shadow of redemption's place. A father chosen by God, though history spoke him low, heaven writes in deeper ink the love the world won't know. Teach us how to lead with faith, to guard what heaven sends, to love without possession and trust the Father's hand. Saint Joseph, pray for fathers.
Splinters in the morning light, dust upon his sleeve, measured lines and steady eyes, a man who chose to believe. Boards beneath his patient touch, grain beneath his care, wood that shaped a simple home and rose through whispered prayer. He shaped the beams by candle flame, not knowing why they came. Hands of wood in prayer, calloused by the years, holding heaven's promise close, guarding it through fears. Hands that built a table where the bread of life would break. Hands of wood in prayer, for mercy's sake. hammer struck the iron nail, echoed through the room. Little did he know one day those nails would seal a tomb. He taught the child to carve the grain, to sand the edges smooth, while heaven carved eternity in hidden faithful truth. The wood beneath his hands would one day save all men. Hands of wood and prayer, strong yet mild and still, working in the quiet ways beneath the Father's will. Hands that held the Savior when he was small and weak. Hands of wood and prayer, humble and meek. Did he see the shadow cast by timber yet to rise? Did he feel the weight of love in heaven's hidden design? The wood he shaped in Nazareth would stand on Calvary. The Father chose those faithful hands to guard the mystery. Hands of wood and prayer, marked by work and grace, holding back the dark of night in a quiet, sacred place. Hands that taught the Savior how to walk this earthly side. Hands of wood and prayer, formed by God. Saint Joseph, teach our hands. Wood shavings on the floor, morning light through Nazareth, calloused hands that shaped the boards and whispered silent breath. He worked beneath a quiet sky, no riches, no acclaim, but heaven knew the humble man and softly called his name. Not chosen for his power, but for his steady heart. He was the carpenter who trusted when he could not understand. When heaven placed a mystery inside his working hands, he laid his plans before the Lord and let his will be done. The carpenter who trusted raised the Holy Son. An angel spoke into the night, a dream that changed it all. A virgin with a secret child, a destiny and call. No anger burned within his chest, no pride demanded proof, just faith that bent but did not break beneath the weight of truth. He chose the harder way at break of day. He was the carpenter who trusted when the road led far from home, through desert dust and foreign lands where fear and danger roam. He guarded what was not his own, yet loved as if it was. The carpenter who trusted built a house for us. He taught the child to shape the wood, to measure straight and true, while heaven shaped the heart of man through everything he'd do. No sermons left behind, no written legacy, but faith that worked in hidden rooms and changed eternity. He was the carpenter who trusted when silence was the test. When heaven asked for everything, he gave his very best. Not crowned by men, not praised aloud, yet history still must say, the carpenter who trusted showed us how to obey. Trust beyond the plan.
No speeches carved in sacred stone, no sermons left behind, no written words to echo loud through pages of all time. Yet heaven trusted him with more than many kings could hold, a silent man with steady hands and faith as pure as gold. He did not need a voice to make a faithful choice. There was strength in the silence, courage without a sound. When the world was shifting sand, he stood on holy ground. No thunder, no applause, no need to prove his name, just quiet burning faith and love that would not change. He heard the angel in the night and rose before the dawn. No hesitation in his step, though every comfort gone. He held the mystery in his arms, the Savior small and mild. He guarded heaven's fragile breath as father to the child. Obedience was his fame, trust was his flame. There was strength in the silence when questions filled the air, when fear knocked at the doorway. He answered it with prayer. No spotlight on his story, no crown upon his head, but history was carried in the footsteps where he led. Teach us how to stand firm without the need for praise, to follow when it cost us, to trust in hidden ways. Make us strong in stillness, unshaken in the storm, faithful in the unseen, where true men are formed. There is strength in the silence, still calling us today to lead with humble courage and walk the narrow way. No need for loud ambition, no hunger to be known, for heaven sees the silence and calls their faith its own. Saint Joseph, teach us strength.
didn't wear a soldier's crown, no sword was in his hand, no throne of gold beneath his feet, no army at command. But heaven placed a child in him and trusted him with light, a fragile king, a gentle queen to guard through every night. No trumpet marked his name, no glory, no acclaim. Defender of the Holy Family, standing in the dark, shielding heaven's promise with a faithful heart. When danger whispered softly, when fear was close at hand, you stood between the shadows in God's eternal plan. He rose before the morning broke, when angels stirred his sleep. He walked the road to Egypt's dust, the promise safe to keep. No questions carved upon his face, no protest in his eyes, just steady hands and quiet strength, obedient and wise. He followed when God spoke, though every comfort broke. Defender of the Holy Family, protector strong and mild, guardian of the Virgin and of the Holy Child. When kings were filled with hatred, when death was close and near, you held the door of mercy and drove away the fear. Not loud, not proud, not seeking to be seen, but heaven calls you mighty where the world has called you hidden. Teach us how to guard what's pure, to stand when storms begin, to fight without a sword of steel, but faith that does not bend. Defender of the Holy Family, stand with us today. Guard our homes and hearts, and show us Joseph's way. When evil walks in silence, when faith is under fire, make us men of courage and fathers of desire. Saint Joseph, guard